What if you had no food, no backup, and only your skills, a fishing rod, and a rifle to rely on? No stores, no coolers, just the wild. Could you survive? That's exactly what I set out to test. 72 hours deep in public land, relying only on what I could hunt or catch to stay alive. This isn't just a test of survival. It's a test of knowledge, patience, and respect for the land. And I brought my camera along to document every gritty, unscripted moment. I started 5 miles deep into a section of public land that borders a river bend. I chose this area for its diversity, bass and trout in the water, and signs of deer, turkey, and squirrels in the underbrush. I had a lightweight .22 rifle loaded with subsonic rounds and a spinning reel versatile enough to handle live bait or soft plastics. My shelter? A single tarp. Lightweight, efficient, and fast to set up. Fire pit dug, wood gathered, water source located. Game on. Before the sun got too high, I was already knee-deep in the river, casting out. First goal? Protein. I dug for worms and beetles, using what the environment gave me for bait. After a few casts and a near miss, I landed my first meal, a decent 13-inch smallmouth bass. Not a trophy, but out here, it might as well be a golden ticket. I cleaned the fish on a flat rock by the bank, saving the guts for bait and the bones for later broth. No waste. Every calorie matters. As night fell, I roasted the fish over open flame. No oil or seasoning, just smoke and patience. Out here, even a charred fish is a luxury. I sat by the fire already feeling the shift in my mindset. No distractions, no screens, just instinct and necessity. And a sense of gratitude that hits differently when you've earned your food bite by bite. The next morning started with a chill in the air and fog clinging to the tree line. I slung the rifle and moved quietly along the edge of a ridge. This was prime squirrel territory. Within 30 minutes, I spotted movement in the branches. One clean shot and breakfast was mine. Back at camp, I skinned and cleaned the squirrel, roasting it slowly over coals. The meat was lean but surprisingly rich. Bones saved for soup, hide buried. Again, no waste. But then came the issue of water. My bottle was running low and I hadn't boiled a backup supply yet. I hiked until I found a small stream, fast-moving and relatively clean. Still, I used a gravity filter I'd packed because Giardia and other parasites don't care how tough you are. Rule 1 of survival: hydrated is alive. Midday, disaster struck. My fishing line snapped while trying to pull a larger trout from a log jam. No backup spool, so I improvised. Using a soda can tab, I carved a crude but workable hook. For line, I stripped fibers from my paracord. With a bit of patience and finesse, I landed a bluegill. Proof that sometimes creativity is more important than gear. I cleaned the fish, tossed it on the fire, and ate with the quiet satisfaction of someone who earned every bite. By day 3, fatigue was setting in. My body felt it, but mentally I was sharper than ever. I started foraging, found mulberries and wild greens. I avoid mushrooms unless I'm 110% certain, which I wasn't. For lunch, I made a crude stew with squirrel bones, fish scraps, and wild greens. It was earthy, smoky, and deeply nourishing in a way freeze-dried food could never match. Each night brought reflection. The fire wasn't just warmth or a cooking source, it was a center, a reminder that even in the wild there's rhythm. You learn to listen, to the rustle of the underbrush, to the snapping of twigs, to your own breath. I realized something profound. It's not the gear that makes you a survivor, it's your mindset. Gear can fail, batteries die. But skills, respect for nature, and a refusal to quit, that's what carries you through. As the 72 hours drew to a close, I looked around at what I had built with my hands and decisions. I didn't have a cooler full of food or a luxury tent, but I had shelter, fire, and food caught and cleaned by my own hands. And that meant something. It reminded me of what we've lost in comfort, and what we rediscover when we strip life down to its core. This challenge was more than survival. It was a reset. The land doesn't give handouts, it gives lessons. And I left with a deeper respect for every bite of meat, every drop of clean water, every fire that burned late into the night. So, next time you head into the wild, ask yourself, could you survive with just your wits, a rod, and a rifle? No trail mix, no backup plan, just you in the wild. Think about it.